Hello. Probably not what you expected me to sound like, huh? Yeah, I know, I'm already addressing that before I'm even starting this video, but I just wanted to start off with a little nod to the audience, if you will. So yep, this is the real voice behind ElliYeet, the YouTube channel. No voice modulation, no AI, no impressions, this is all just me. You know what? Glad this is finally happening. This, for non-channel historians, is the first ever time that I have revealed my own voice on this channel. After 5 years of uploads and gaining almost, or at this time, probably 9,000 subscribers. I figured that it was about time to do so with that. But with the decision, I didn't want to just reveal my voice and call the video there done and dusted. I wanted to spin this into a community effort. So what I did was I turned this video into a Q&A response video as well. That's right, I'm reading out questions that you guys asked me in the recent community post tabs on my channel. There was only a small amount, but I did thankfully get good answers out of most of them, and this will be treated as a special shout out to those people who commented anyway. You're all legends, thank you so much. But okay, probably wasting time at this point. Let's begin the Q&A. From Rock of All Ages, what is your earliest musical memory? That's a good start to this very video. When I was growing up as a young child, my first memory of music was the Thomas the Tank Engine theme, which was a significant part of my childhood, just like SpongeBob SquarePants and Thunderbirds. Yes, that Thunderbirds. What else can I say? My mum and dad just really raised me that well. I loved Thomas the Tank Engine growing up. From Obsidian, what was the biggest musical disappointment in your life? As in, an album you were hyped for really bad, but turned out to be a letdown. I remember Let the Bad Times Roll from The Offspring being a very bad disappointment in 2021. Not only in the fact that it's easily the worst album the band has ever made, but it was the fact that 9 years of anticipation after Days Go By, and that Coming For You was the only high quality song on there, that truly let me down. It kind of killed my fan interest status with The Offspring, even if their follow-up in 2024, Supercharged, was a better step in the right direction. This is coming from someone who did unironically defend the Splinter album, so you know it's bad if I cannot defend this at all. Just don't listen to Let the Bad Times Roll, it's really bad, do not. From your girl Anna, what is your favourite video game? Oh, for me, that's going to be Plants vs Zombies Garden Warfare 2. Weird answer, I know, but let me speak about it, please. I honestly cannot think of a better example of a game that I was hyped for so much when its trailer dropped the previous year, that turned out to be 100% deserved, because the game is just that amazing. I absolutely love it. It's no secret on this channel that I have considered YouTuber Zack Scott Games a primary influence into playing that game. And the fact that it turns 10 years old next year is downright crazy. You've probably seen it on YouTube, there's still YouTubers to this day that play the game, and it's still quite popular online, so what else can I say? Just play Plants vs Zombies Garden Warfare 2 if you can, or even at the very least, just look up footage of it. It's that good. From Gabrielle Piver? Gabrielle Piver? I don't know how to pronounce it, sorry about that. What is your overall favourite band of all time? Hard to pick an answer to that, because a lot of my favourite bands of all time growing up have such strong competition with the discographies that I've made. Right now, probably going to say Black Sabbath. The sheer influence that they had on metal as we know it, and the fact that they ended their career on a bittersweet but pure perfect note with Back to the Beginning. It's just not going to be topped. And I've said it before and I'll say it again, listen to Black Sabbath, especially the Ozzy Osbourne era. Do what you can to pay tribute to the Prince of Darkness. From Walt Disney Nate, worst Rainbow album? Admittedly, I don't know enough of Rainbow to answer that one, unfortunately. But from what I do know, I tend to love the first 3 albums with Dio as lead singer. And that album, after he left, Down to Earth, it was decent enough. It still had the song Since You've Been Gone on it. From what I do know, people say that after that, the band is very much an instant skip and stay away from. I might take their advice, though I wouldn't be against going through their discography in future. Also, side note, Richie Blackmore, you're a great guitarist, but you're also a miserable git. I'm sorry. From J-Man77, if you had to rank the voices of Lane Staley, Chris Cornell, Chester Bennington, Freddie Mercury, and Dio, how would that go? Damn you. Guess the order is Dio at 5, Chris Cornell at 4, Lane Staley at 3, Chester at 2, and Freddie Mercury at 1. God, that was painful. Oh, I'm gonna get so many negative comments about that. How dare you? From Andre Reviews, what is your favourite movie? Lord of the Rings Return of the King. Specifically the extended edition though. Should probably need no explanation if you've already seen the Lord of the Rings movies and also read the books if possible. It's the single greatest fantasy movie of all time to me. If you haven't gone familiar with either of the movies or the books, then sorry, you're just missing out. Please, for the love of God, at least watch them once. And again, if you do, watch the extended editions, not the theatrical release versions. Trust me, the extended versions are even better than those. From Matthew Ryder, if you could make your personal dream 4-man supergroup, who would your choices be? I do have one idea. I would honestly go for a group that has Chino Moreno of Deftones on lead vocals, Max Cavalera of former Sepultura and Soulfly on guitars and backing vocals, Les Claypool on bass and backing vocals, and Danny Carey from Tool on drums. To me, that would make a really good group effort, but I could come up with other ideas, so that's an idea. I would really like to see that happen. From Sam's Epic Gaming, do you play an instrument? If so, which one? Yes, I do play instruments. It's primarily the bass guitar. I did originally start off playing drums in my early years of college, but it was admittedly a pain in the ass to learn them when it required all 4 limbs at once. Bass guitar, it was that just much easier for me to learn. Still playing today, of course. Thank you very much for asking that question. From Elias Hug, if you would go deaf forever, but you could listen to one final album before that happens, which one would you pick? Innuendo by Queen. Honestly, I'd want to hear the final song, The Show Must Go On, as my swan song if I was going to lose my hearing completely. I'd be like hearing my music on a high note, if you will. But that also just includes the whole album Innuendo, because I unironically think it's Queen's best album. Oh, don't look at me like that. From Owen Bradley, what is your opinion on the Zac Brown Band? If you've never heard their album Uncaged, I would give it a listen. From what I do know, I do tend to enjoy what the Zac Brown Band offers. There's good songs, there's good albums that I have heard bits of. I know them mainly because of their appearances on Spectrum Pulse's reviews on their albums and songs that he did. I definitely know which albums to avoid, but I did discover that the band are also dropping a new album in early December. That's on the AOTY list. I'll talk about them there for you and listen to Uncaged at the same time when that happens. Okay? Cheers! From Dr. Chimp, are there any songs that you like from music genres that you usually wouldn't listen to? It's a very interesting question. I have made it known on my channel that I am not a fan of black metal, just due to its entirely rough sound and for obvious historical reasons. But it did also spawn the genre of blackened death metal, which features bands like Behemoth and Death Heaven. The latter of those two is probably the best band to come out from that scene. I would absolutely recommend their songs, especially from that awesome new album that they just dropped. From Layla the Metallica Fangirl, which song about a mental asylum, due to its lyrics, reminds you of your primary school more? Welcome Home Sanitarium by Metallica or Madhouse by Anthrax? I'd honestly say Madhouse, as my time in primary school was honestly more jolly and silly at that time, because Anthrax is also jolly and silly. Yeah, sure, both songs are rather dark in their lyrics, they're both about mental asylums, but Madhouse is more goofy and silly in its vibe, almost like as if they're musically saying, "Yeah, we're mental patients, woo!" instead of Sanitarium, which is more depressing musically. But yeah, that's a very good question, thank you, Layla. From Witch Supreme, what's your least favourite song? If you're talking about so bad it's good songs, then I would have to point out the entirety of Philosophy of the World by the Shags. That album is genuinely the funniest thing that I've ever heard, and I recommend it if you want to die laughing as well. But if we're not talking about that, it's gonna have to be No Fear by Falling in Reverse. It's no longer a secret that I absolutely despise this band, especially, I'm not gonna say his name, you already know who he is, I do not want to get angry mobs at me, I'm sick of mentioning his name, can he just piss off? I don't want to get reminded of them ever again. I'll say this at least, for as horrendous as that recent song they dropped, it's at least an actual metal song. Blah. Moving on. From Miranda Hallisey, can you do Cut the Bridge, but every cut makes it go faster? Been waiting a while for that one. My apologies about that, schedule just got a bit mental. Should be able to do it around October though. You are still on the list, Miranda, don't think I've forgotten you. Thank you very much, cheers. From Connected, can you name 10 Eurobeat songs from memory? Unfortunately, I can only name a few select ones from Initial D as examples. Gas, Gas, Gas. Running in the 90s. Deja Vu. And there's definitely a few others that I might have heard at some point. Guess maybe the rest of the Initial D discography counts? I don't know, I'm not a Eurobeat expert. From Mikan 2.0, is it Mikan or Mikan? Let me know in the comments, dude. What's your opinion on Kathleen DeLeon from High Five? Daniel Jones from Savage Garden's wife. I'm familiar with High Five, which shocking considering they're Australian, I'm Australian, I should already know them. It is what it is. I'm also not familiar with Kathleen, but I do definitely know Savage Garden. It's neat to see that Daniel's married to her. Both of them are no longer actively working in the music industry anymore though, so I don't know everything about them, and I just hope they're living good lives outside the music. And here's another one from Layla the Metallica fangirl. Would you like to be the rhythm guitarist or lead guitarist of my upcoming band? I'll do the drums and vocals. I don't know, maybe I would join a rhythm guitar. But where's the bassist? Maybe I could join then. From @Gerbert, what does do? What did that little child do? I know this is probably a troll comment, but considering he asked this question anyway, I'll just give him a brief one here. Read my review of Popular Monster on my AOTY account. That explains what that little child did. Okay? End of story. From Corvasaur, what was a movie that was so terrible it made you walk out of the theatre? Mufasa the Lion King. It is probably the only movie that I've ever outright walked out of a cinema from. To me, it was not just the fact that it was a bad movie, but it was also the fact that the movie was so dull and boring with practically every detail, story, music, characters, practically everything, that I wasn't even able to make it over half an hour. And this is coming from someone who loves The Lion King. Not the remake, the original. The only reason I saw it was because it was a free movie night in my own local town. So, at least I didn't spend money on it? That's a good thing, right? From Mfast Noise Stuff, very nice. will you do a Knuckles reacts to each Stain song? Not against that as an idea or concept, but Stained, as far as I know, they're still making new music as they've been reunited for several years at this point. Heck, they actually released an album in 2023 as a matter of fact, so that kind of proves my point. I have made it sort of open on my channel that I am not a fan of Stained, particularly due to Aaron Lewis. Don't even get me started on his solo career. But the band themselves, they're pretty talented, and I do tend to like a few songs that pop up here and there, especially around Dysfunction and Break the Cycle. But if the band ends up finishing their career, and Aaron does permanently go solo, sure, I could put them in a series in the future. Just don't expect it to be the most positive one, kind of like how much of a mixed bag my Godsmack one was. From Reckless87, favourite music genre and favourite metal album you've reviewed. Well, this is two questions at once, but I'll allow it, because you're a good bloke. Anyway, my favourite genre of music is definitely jazz. When I was studying music and musical theory in college, that was often the music that was played most to me. I adore all the horns, swing, bass, melodies, harmonies, it's just such an immaculate genre to me, especially in the case of Stevie Wonder. Or heck, even just look up jazz-related projects like Whiplash. That's just got the best of jazz. I absolutely love jazz. As for my favourite metal album I've reviewed, well, if you're going with what I've covered on AOTY so far, Lonely People with Power by Death Heaven. My favourite metal album I've reviewed on there. But I'll probably just say the best metal album that I've ever heard in full, it's gotta be The Sound of Perseverance from Death. Genuinely, the greatest metal album to close out a metal band's discography. I don't think that'll ever be topped. Also from Layla the Metallica fangirl, will you do a mashup of Addicted to Chaos by Megadeth and The Writing on the Wall by Iron Maiden? That would be an interesting idea, certainly not against that considering I really do like both songs, but I'm not exactly sure how to make that mashup work seamlessly. It's probably just experience of that, but maybe once I know how to do them seamlessly with good editing, I'll consider that. If anyone would like to give me good tips to that in the comments, that would be nice. From Fionn Betterly, do you think Oasis are overrated? To me it always depends on the song. Like say, if it's Wonderwall, then I consider that overrated. Or if it's one of their mediocre post-Golden Age hits like say Stand By Me or something. But there's plenty of great songs that Oasis has that deserve the attention. Don't Look Back in Anger, Don't Go Away, Champagne Supernova. There's plenty of good songs that Oasis has made. I wouldn't skip out on them entirely, even if the Gallagher brothers are known for being not friendly. I'm putting that very politely. But it's nice to see Oasis have gotten some attention again now that they're reunited, so no, I don't think Oasis are entirely overrated. It just depends on the song. And lastly, from JF, have you considered procedurally swapping beats, measures, and larger segments for a song as a kind of unsorting algorithm or just randomized beats? I haven't considered doing those kinds of memes yet anyway, but I'd be certainly interested in trying them as requests from the comments. I do know that you can say remove measures and that leads to interesting results, but that's never came across any of my ideas yet. Would be cool though. And well, that's it. At least for now. Honestly, this went pretty well for me. And I hope that you guys did enjoy this video as, let's just be honest, this is pure history right here for the channel. We now have a literal voice, and it's out for the world to see. I don't expect I'll record myself super frequently as, I'll be honest, I'm very shy of recording my own voice in public, and I doubt that I'll be doing these very frequently considering that I'm still working on getting comfortable socially on YouTube. But I tell you what, here's an idea for the future. If you do have any further questions that you would like to drop for another Q&A video for next month or in future, please drop them in the comments of this very video too. I would honestly love to see your further questions, and maybe more of these that I do, more comfortable I'll get. So, what are you waiting for? Drop a free question and comment. And also, like the video and subscribe if you enjoyed. Anyway, I'd say that's it for today, guys. I'll see you on the next upload. Thank you so much for watching. Cheers!